understanding different types of cancer and psychology behind them. You ever met someone who can sense a room before they even walk into it? The kind of person who picks up on every tone, every silence, every unspoken thing, and somehow just knows what people feel. That's Cancer energy. But here's the twist. Not every Cancer feels the same. There's not just one kind of sensitive soul. There are three. One protects emotions, one transforms them, and one turns them into wisdom. Same sign, completely different emotional wiring. And science actually backs this up. Your empathy isn't a mood swing, it's neurology. It's how your brain mirrors emotion, how oxytocin heightens connection, how memory and feeling are literally tied together in your system. So no, you're not too emotional, you're deeply attuned. You read life through feeling, and that's rare. Let's decode the three kinds of Cancer and find out how your heart was built to feel. Core archetype, the Cancer mind. Let's start with what really defines a Cancer. Cancer is a cardinal water sign, ruled by the moon, the planet of emotion, intuition, and rhythm. You're not just feeling things, you're processing them at a cellular level. You read emotion the way others read text, and that's what makes you one of the most emotionally intelligent signs of the Zodiac. In psychology, Cancer energy reflects emotional intelligence, the ability to sense, interpret, and manage feelings in yourself and others. It's empathy in motion. Studies show that highly empathetic people have a more active mirror neuron system, the part of the brain that literally fires when you witness someone else's emotions. That's why you can pick up someone's sadness or tension without a word being spoken. Your nervous system is tuned to the emotional frequencies around you. But it's not just about empathy, it's about memory too. Neuroscience tells us that the amygdala and hippocampus, which process memory and emotion, work more closely together in sensitive personalities. That's why you don't just remember moments, you remember how they felt. You store feelings like data, which means even old memories can feel new when triggered. Some call that moodiness, but in truth, it's emotional pattern recognition. You're not too emotional, you're deeply observant. The moon rules your tides, your internal cycles of emotion and intuition. You feel deeply because you notice deeply. And that's not weakness, it's awareness in its most human form. First Decan Cancer, the protector. If you're a first Decan Cancer, born between June 21 and July 1, you carry the purest form of Cancer energy, ruled completely by the moon. You are the emotional anchor, the one who builds safety, nurtures everyone, and somehow always knows when something's wrong. Your intuition doesn't guess. It remembers. It feels like you've been reading people your whole life. Psychologically, this version of Cancer reflects what's known as attachment theory, how we create and maintain emotional bonds. You thrive on secure connections, where trust feels like oxygen and loyalty feels like home. Once someone's inside your circle, you protect them with your whole heart. But if that trust breaks, you retreat, fast. It's not coldness, it's self-preservation. Biologically, this links directly to oxytocin, the bonding hormone that creates emotional closeness. When you love someone, your brain releases oxytocin faster, heightening your empathy and sensitivity. It's why you feel connected so deeply and why emotional distance can physically hurt. But here's the paradox. Your love language is protection, yet sometimes that protection becomes control. You may try to fix people's emotions to feel safe yourself. It's not manipulation. It's your nervous system's way of managing potential pain. And this is where your strength lies: awareness. When you recognize that nurturing doesn't mean carrying, you reclaim your emotional power. You learn that real security doesn't come from holding tighter. It comes from trusting your bond. The first Decan Cancer embodies emotional leadership. You're the one who reminds others that softness isn't weakness. It's courage in its most vulnerable form. You are the protector, the heartbeat of every family, friendship, or connection you touch. You don't just offer love, you create a home inside it. Second Decan Cancer, the Empathic Artist. If you're a second Decan Cancer, born between July 2 and July 12, you're ruled by the moon and Pluto. And that means your emotions don't just exist, they evolve. You don't feel lightly, you feel in layers. Where the first decan protects emotion, you transform it. Pain doesn't scare you, it fascinates you. Because somewhere inside, you know that every heartbreak carries a truth, every tear a message. Psychologically, this aligns with what Carl Jung called shadow integration, the process of confronting our inner pain instead of avoiding it. You instinctively sense that healing isn't about erasing wounds. It's about understanding them. You're the Cancer who finds beauty in the broken, meaning in the melancholy. On a biological level, this kind of emotional processing connects to the limbic system, the brain's emotional center. Research shows that when people express their emotions creatively, through art, writing, or music, the limbic system becomes less reactive, helping the brain reframe pain into purpose. That's why your self-expression feels like therapy. You don't just tell stories, you purify emotion through them. But with great depth comes vulnerability. Pluto's influence can make your emotions intense. You might love to the edge of obsession, overanalyze every gesture, or cling to pain longer than necessary because you're determined to understand it. It's your way of trying to master what you can't control. Yet this is also where your genius lies, your ability to create light out of darkness. You're the person who turns grief into growth and fear into art. You make people feel seen by saying what they're too scared to admit. The second decan Cancer is the empathic artist, a soul who feels deeply, transforms courageously, and teaches others that emotion isn't weakness. It's raw creation in motion. You don't just carry emotion, you alchemize it. Third decan Cancer, the wise nurturer. If you're a third decan Cancer, born between July 13th and July 22nd, you're ruled by the Moon and Neptune, the planet of dreams, compassion, and spiritual connection. This combination makes you the most intuitive and empathetic of all Cancers. The person who can walk into a room and feel the mood shift without anyone saying a word. It's not magic. It's how your nervous system is wired. You experience empathy as if it's a sixth sense. Psychologists call this empathic imagination, the ability to emotionally simulate another person's feelings within your own body. It's linked to the brain's default mode network, the part that activates when we daydream, reflect, or imagine other people's experiences. For you, that network is hyperactive. It's why you can visualize emotions, predict reactions, and sense undercurrents long before anyone else. But this deep emotional openness comes with a challenge: boundaries. Neptune's influence makes you absorb energy like water through cloth. You might mistake other people's emotions for your own, or overextend yourself trying to heal them. When your empathy isn't contained, it becomes emotional fusion, caring so deeply that you forget where you end and others begin. Spiritually, this decan often feels guided by something unseen: intuition, synchronicity, dreams. You may experience vivid emotional imagery or moments of knowing that can't be explained logically. It's not woo-woo. Neuroscience links intuition to pattern recognition within the subconscious. You process emotion faster than reason can explain. The lesson for this decan is about self-containment, learning to love without absorbing, to help without losing yourself. When your emotional wisdom is balanced with grounding, you become the ultimate healer, the one who teaches compassion through presence. You're the wise nurturer, the old soul who understands that love isn't about saving people. It's about helping them remember their own light. You don't just feel the world, you remind it what empathy looks like. Cancer proves that feeling deeply isn't a weakness. It's emotional intelligence in motion. The first decan protects, the second transforms, and the third transcends. Together you show that emotion isn't chaos. It's wisdom that flows. You don't just care, you connect. You make people feel seen in a world that forgets to look. So, which kind of Cancer are you? The protector, the artist, or the nurturer? Drop your decan in the comments and tell me how your emotions speak their truth. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.